Coming up on Let's Talk Life with London. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Let's Talk Life. It's an exciting episode today. I have a really special guest, and I can't wait for you to meet him and for you to hear more about his projects and his journey. His name is Broderick Hunter. He is one of the most recognized faces in fashion. You've seen him in magazines, campaigns, Ralph Lauren, Tommy Hilfiger, Reebok, Bloomingdales, and so many more. He's dominated runways in Milan, New York, and Miami. You've also seen him on Issa Rae's hit show Insecure on HBO. He's starred in movies and commercials, all while growing his own self-care community on YouTube. His focus now is to help others in finding success in competitive industries with his new online resource guide, Sell Your Look. He's giving members insider resources and advice to help them launch successful personal brands and businesses, just like he's done for himself. I'm really excited to welcome Broderick to the show. Hi, Broderick.
First of all, the intro, my heart, thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow. Oh my God. Wow. Thank you so much, London. I appreciate that. I'm so happy to be here.
Of course. No, I mean, hey, you gotta get your flowers. You've done this.
I have, and I'm happy. I'm happy to be here. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
How's everything going for you? I know you've been busy, but how are you feeling? How's everything feeling so far?
If I could describe how I'm feeling, I feel like every day I wake up in God's arms, and I'm just so at peace, and I just know I'm being guided and directed. So everything in my life right now is pure bliss, even down to my relationship and my career. I can't make any complaints besides just continue to embrace the present and be grateful for what's to come, you know?
That's incredible. That's an incredible mindset to have too, because it's nice. Like, the accomplishments are nice, career is nice, but to have like that internal peace, that's different.
What did Tim say? This is the peace that you cannot buy.
Right. No, you can't.
Man,
it's priceless.
No amount of cash. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I love that you have so many projects and endeavors outside of modeling and acting. And I think you've done a really incredible job at showing how multidimensional you are. Does it ever bother you or, get to you that maybe from the outside looking in, people just see you as a face or just a model or just a title?
Yes. Yes, and yes. Every day and throughout my whole entire career since I first started till now, it takes somebody to kind of see past the looks, charm, the accolades, just to kind of see the being and the vessel. So I've truly prided my career in maintaining a persona that does not just be about my outside, but also I want people to love my inside. So throughout my career, I've always just made it more so about the interaction, how to make people feel, other than them getting a chance to see me as this being. So I always get those things, but that's also why I'm happy I'm able to reach people in a way where I can actually speak to them in a human way and not just be about the looks, So I get it.
Is that how you've always interacted, or do you feel like you're more cognizant of it now that you're in a public space and in a public eye?
Well, long before I was in the fashion TV industry, I was a basketball player. I was one of the top recruits in my city, in my country. And every basketball game I went to, there was people always out there. So I was always under the public eye and a lot of pressure, but it's not necessarily in the same way. But I was always used to people coming up to me saying hello. So yeah, I'm very familiar with that feeling, but now I feel like I've encompassed it a little differently now that I've been in the fashion entertainment industry for a while, and I've gotten a chance to mold into me being an adult and a man now. Back then I was a boy. I didn't really know much about life, but now I have some experience under my belt. So now I kind of just move a little bit differently.
Yeah, no, and you have to, especially given what you've experienced, what you've seen, what you've been through. You mentioned it a little earlier, but a lot of people don't know that before your modeling career, it really was like a tragedy that
Oh
happened,
yeah. Yes.
that started this career for you. You had an
Hmm.
injury in school, and it shattered your dreams to be a ball player. Can you tell
Yes.
me more about how you managed to get through grieving one dream to then transition into another one, not really knowing what was going to happen?
That's a whole can of worms. I have like 3 journals stacked on just that alone,
Yeah.
and I can go so many directions within that. But to make it concise, losing like chasing something and being in pursuit of something and getting close to it and not seeing it fall through can be a tragedy. But
Hmm.
I looked at it as a tragedy when at that time, at that age, but I saw that it wasn't necessarily a tragedy. It was another level to unfold for me. So it's just a turning point. It wasn't necessarily something that ended. And I knew that at that time, I was like, damn, well, what am I going to do with my life? Like, all I know is basketball. I
Yeah.
like go to FedEx. I can go. I picked up some side jobs, and trust me, like I went through so every single course of life. I'm talking job applications. I'm talking being a janitor,
Mhm.
catering, all that kind of stuff to just help myself live. And then once I got into the modeling industry after that tragedy, that's when I got confirmation that God wasn't done yet.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I started to relook at that tragedy, quote unquote, and
Mhm.
started seeing it more as a turning point to where I'm supposed to be. So I can guarantee you now, if I was to repeat my life all over again, I'd be
Mhm.
looking for that quote unquote tragedy to happen so I can be right here where I'm standing. So
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
don't, I just believe in turning points now.
Yeah. And I think too, it speaks to some things that we're good at aren't where God wants us to really thrive in,
Mm-mm.
to fully make sure that we're the most impactful with our purpose.
Hmm.
And
You
you
have
could
to
have
be guided it.
been great. You could have, you know, lived out your ball dreams and been
Yes.
super happy and great, right? But it's
Hmm.
like, I wonder what God saw for you back then, where he was like, he needs to be here because people are going to see things in him. He's going to be, he's going to meet the right people. He's going to talk to the right people. He's going to influence the right people. And so
Hmm.
I wonder like what God was thinking when he was like warping me back then.
Yeah. Me and him have a very close relationship, and we talk often. And I always
Mhm.
just ask him. I say, "Well, what's next on the agenda?"
Yeah.
And I just take whatever comes with that because we're not formulated to be on this in this world to know our own plan and to have a plan.
Mm.
He made it so jaded and so corrupt and so misleading that it's perfect. So he
Mhm.
had to do it to where it's mapped out for us. So
Yeah.
I always just nowadays I always just hold very near and true to my religion, my spirituality, and just being very God driven and God focused in everything I pursue. And I say, God, if you need me in this space, I ask that your presence live through me in
Yes.
this space so people can see and acknowledge your presence. And every single thing I do now and everything that I interact with, it's a magical moment. And people are like, wow, what is this? I'm like, it's not me. It's
It's
God,
not
man.
me.
It ain't me. It's
I
never
love
me.
that.
It never was me. I'm
Yeah.
just, we're all just here. So, and it's never just you. Never
Yeah.
all of us. We're all just walking light.
I love that. Take me back to the time everything changed for you. Was it a photo shoot? Did you
Mm.
get scouted in the mall? Like take me back to how that happened.
I have like 20 changing points. It's crazy.
Okay.
The first changing point after my career in basketball ended, I went
Mhm.
through like 2 years of, as I said, working. I worked at like Chipotle, and I think I worked at a Subway shop. I was going to do shit so long ago. Freak, what else was I doing? I think I was trying to work at a mall, like just
Mhm.
mall janitor stuff. Yeah, so watch stores. So
Mhm.
all this stuff is happening as in the midst of me going back to junior college. which I didn't want to go. I was a top recruit that I was going to go to D1. I was supposed to be on TV. I was supposed to be getting the high. Yeah, I had to go back to junior college. And then I was like, well, shoot. So in the midst of that, I had reached out by a photographer, Tyron Red. And he said, yo, bro, you ever thought about modeling? And I was like, hell no.
No.
And I left it at that. And then he reached out again, divine intervention, because if he didn't reach out a second time, I wouldn't be here. He said, yo, dude, I know you said no, but I really think that you should give this a shot. I'm like, I just got out of practice and I was like, well, fuck it, why not? So I showed up to the photo shoot and I did the photo shoot with full confidence. He taught me a lot about just how to pose, stuff like that, because I was a basketball player, I had a body. So everything was good. It was like I was in good shape. So I was training. So if I was to give up and I wasn't training, I would be out of shape. And my first shot that I had went viral and it did so well. So I was like, dang, okay, this might be something. And I used that momentum to get me into just further conversations with photo shoots and eventually getting scouted into more modeling agencies and stuff like that. So I feel like the reach out from Tyron Red was the first huge turning point, I should say, to my life and my career.
And so once you started like getting your feet wet with everything, you saw, okay, wait, I kind of see what he sees in me now. I could actually really
just a little bit. I see the little window. We're gonna try to widen it open, but I was like, okay, I'm intrigued enough. So I started to just do more photo shoots, and I started just getting more comfortable in front of the camera and encompassing this career. And then that's where it started. I just kept wanting to learn more and kept being present, and then that eventually led to me wanting to learn how to act. Eventually led me into learning how to cut my own hair, which developed in the self-care community. And then I learned how to communicate, and I learned how to just do all this other stuff. And now I kind of just encompass this whole thing. And but it all came from a new direction of hey, have you ever thought about blank?
And if you would have given up just because one thing didn't work out, like if you would have just been like, well, I guess there's like nothing else for me to do. If you would have been like closed-minded in that time and not open to trying something new or doing something different, there would have been so many things that you probably would have missed out on in life and your career if you would have just been closed off.
Yes, I truly feel like the true meaning to life and the true essence of finding out who you are is being open to change and open to new direction, switching up routines, not falling into the same routine every day, try to break habits, take on new skills, because that it really furthers your mind of what you're actually capable of. The society structures us to think that we're not capable of thinking, manifesting. You can only work if you want to make a lot of money. Save your money. That's the biggest lie. Invest in yourself to make more money. You know what I mean? So you have to rewire your mind in order to truly be open. And I feel like that's what I encourage people to do, especially someone like me. Like I went from shooting hoops to posing in my underwear. The two don't really go hand in hand, but it happened.
It worked out. Yeah. At what point did you decide it was your turn to give back everything you've learned and experienced and now share the advice that you have and the resources that you have in your guided courses, Sell Your Look? I think it's such a cool transition, but it's so natural and it flows so well. So at what point did you decide, like, it's my time, it's time?
I'm going to give you two things. So when I first got into the industry, like when I really started getting going and I got my first jobs, I was in New York City I was in Miami at the time. And I was just sitting down deep in thought. And I was like, okay, well, I'm here and I'm actually signed and I'm in the industry. And I said, God, if you can help me reach the most maximum level of where you need me to be, not only would I want to share my knowledge of what I learned, but I also want to share the gifts that you implemented in me and the love that you gave me throughout the process. So throughout the past 10 years, God continued to just help me be a vessel and helping me get chose for Ralph Lauren, helping me get chose for the Sierra video, getting me chose to be on Insecure, getting me chose to be in this. So now that I kept being chosen. Now I felt like this is my time to help others give themselves the tools that they need to be chosen. Because when I got into the industry, I didn't know anything about getting signed. I didn't know anything about going to a photo shoot. I didn't know much about anything. I had to learn all these things. So I said, if I can help give some people just a little bit information that can give them a little better direction on what they're trying to do, if they look up to me and see me, I want to give them the keys and the gifts that I learned along my process that helps me get to here. So that's what my workshop is about, but it's not necessarily about the whole modeling aspect. It's about finding comfort within yourself so you have the tools for your journey to not conform to what other people want to see from you or how they want to mold you.
Yeah. And I like that about the workshop. It's like, not just if you want to be a model, it's for anyone really looking to build the skills and the resources to market themselves, their own personal brand.
Yeah, because we're in the era of social media now. When I first started, there was just magazine prints. In order to get out there, you had to be on runway shows. So I did what I had to do to get my exposure back then. But now you have the social media component, which was a whole nother beast that I had to tackle, which I'm grateful for what I have now. But even that component had played a big role into my other modeling stuff. So integrating the modeling aspect or the photographing, self-branding aspect, as well as implementing the social media aspect, kind of went hand in hand, because we're in an era right now where everything's digital. Even you and I are on the internet right now interacting. So we have to learning and utilizing these skills via social media or self-branding is also very important. So I try to my best to encompass that, and I look forward to giving more information on how to do that as well.
Yeah. And can you give people an overview of what they can expect when they sign up for the courses without giving everything away?
I mean, it's not really, it's not too many like real, like super, oh my God, these are secrets. This is just really just, it's a guide. So when you come on the workshop and sell your look, you're going to kind of you're going to get my bio, a little bit of about me and stuff like that. You're going to see the work I've done. And then it's going to give you the layouts of the thumbnails of the courses. So you have my introduction with my friend Frenchie. And then we get into my photo shoot course, which teaches my personal method on how I learn my angles and master headshots and my stuff. So that's my course on the photo shoots. And then I also give a little more context to how to reach out to an agency via email. They'll get little nuggets and templates and stuff to play with that helps them, do a personal pitch, as well as just certain things like ideas for how to brand yourself. So that encompasses a lot of the workshop, as well as certain things that we're talking about, like motivating yourself, which I'm going to add soon as well. But as of right now, there's so much more I'm putting into Sell Your Look in the next 6 to 8 weeks, that with the website and the experiences now, it's not what it's going to be later. So that's why I'm encouraging people to join now, because it's going to build out to so much more.
That's exciting. And I think it's exciting too that it's almost like the education's on a rolling basis. So like you said, like if you enroll now, there's going to be even more that's added later. So like join now so you can
encourage
stuff later.
And also want to make it affordable. It's an affordable course. With the code, you get a lovely angel number. So
love that.
they don't know that. They get that after they put it in. It's like, oh, what's the discount code? And then it goes to blank. And I'm like, so hopefully I encourage people to let them know that if they find this workshop and they want to do this, it's not only good, but it's also, you're guided here. You're very intentional. I made this workshop with the intention to say, hey, whoever needs to see this, I hope they find it, and I hope they find value in it.
Yeah. And I know they will.
Thank you.
Why do you think it's important for anyone pursuing a career in the modeling agency, or really any creative industry at that, to consistently be a student of that craft?
I think it's always important to remain dumb in the most chillest sense. Like I always work from a place of, I know nothing, but I also know everything. Because if you know everything, you still know nothing. And if you know nothing, you probably might know everything, because you have everything you need to know because you know nothing. So I think it's always best to remain in a space where you're open to learning and receiving critiquement, guidance, and mentorship. Even myself, I'm a mentor myself, but I have mentors. I have certain people that still guide me, and people will look at me like, Brad, you know everything. I'm like, actually, I still have so much more to learn. I'm still
Yeah,
a student
yeah,
over here. So I feel like each one is teach one, and we can all offer something to somebody. Nobody has nothing to offer. So I feel like it's very important to always teach your mind that you can encompass more through any journey that you're on. Is learning how to adapt in a space, and being uncomfortable is never easy.
yeah,
Nobody is liking, no, like nobody wakes up and says, yeah, I want to definitely go deliver food at 2 a.m. to meet my rent. Nobody's over
yeah,
here saying, yeah, I really enjoy scrubbing these floors. But these are the things that the truths where you might not have too much help or leeway from, like some people might have, to be able to avoid these things. So
mhm,
coming from someone like myself, as well as many others would say, and anyone else who has experience, you just have to be present in these moments. Like
sure.
I I can't even express how much I wish I was on a set or making money when I was on my knees cleaning up toilets in Miami while all my other friends were over here going to the beach and stuff. But I knew
Yeah.
that there was just a much bigger thing out there, something bigger. So just,
Mhm.
I always just tell people, look, have it, keep it, and just know that this is just a part of the trajectory. Like, don't stop, like,
Mhm.
don't stop.
Yeah, I mean, heavy is the head that wears the crown. It's like, in order to be able to carry the crown, you had to endure, you had to grow
Yeah,
those spiritual muscles and the physical muscles too, to be able
yeah.
to endure. And it's almost like I have to tell myself, whenever I'm dealing with things that seem hard, or it feels like, okay, this is not where I want to be, or I want to be here. Does it really take this to get to that? He's like, God's like, why would I make you learn this lesson? Why would I have you grow these spiritual muscles if you're
Hmm.
not going to be in a place where you're going to be using them?
You ain't say nothing but a word. That's
you know?
A1. Yes, that's very
Yeah.
true. And that's how it was designed. You have to
Hmm.
build these muscles to in order to endure the journey. It's like
Hmm.
going to the gym. You don't just go and pick up a 100-pound dumbbell and just start pushing.
Right.
You got you
You
gotta,
can if you want to.
you know what, if you pray hard enough, child, God will
Right.
give you the strength to do whatever you want. But
Right,
in the
right.
real world over here, you can't break open a jam door. You gotta ease
Yeah,
it. So
yeah.
I think it's, yeah, you just gotta always, I look at the process as a, if you don't like your situation, just look at it as a jam door. You're just slowly creaking open, and then
Mhm,
then eventually it'll start swinging, and everything will
mhm.
just start moving around.
I love that metaphor.
Everything's
It's
everything's a jam door at this point. The world we're living in,
okay.
the door is jammed, barricaded, and it is not open. Just take us away.
Literally, we're all trying to kick them down.
Oh man.
It seems like you have a really amazing support system around you right now.
Hmm. Yeah.
How important is that? Like, how important is your family and the people you love to everything you're doing outside of them? So, your career, all of that. Like, how important is that to you?
It's the most important thing to me. My family
Mhm,
and everybody around me is the energy that inhabits me the most, and just like my energy inhabits them. So
mhm.
it's a mutual thing where these vibrations are continuously ever flowing. We have this infinite loop of love, creativity, balance, and just an ever flowing security. And once there's one vibe in there that integrates with that, it messes things up. So I truly think it's always really important to invest in keeping the energy pure in your circles. Your
Yeah,
circles will be a direct reflection of your success. The people that show up to your stuff, the people that you meet with, the people you make money with, these are all going, they're all going to be reflections. So
yeah.
anything and everything is important when it comes down to your family and friends, for sure.
Right. Yeah, no, it's so important because it's like, again, like we talked about earlier, you can achieve everything, but if you look around and nobody's there, or you look around and you can't share it with anybody, then
Or
what
you
are we
look
doing
around,
this
you're just
for?
not enjoying it. It's like, do you
Yeah.
like the people that are around you? Like, I don't believe in sharing my own success and celebrations. I would never, I like to be around people. So it's like, if I'm around people and I can't trust you with my home, I can't trust you with my family, I can't trust you with my, if I don't feel that safeness around you, you're not for me. So
Yeah,
you have to have that system that is absolutely for you, for real.
for sure. For sure. Now that you have the success, you have the career and the accomplishments, how do you position yourself and your personal brand to now partner and align with brands or causes that are still authentic to you?
Well, my whole life, I try to be authentic in everything. I don't take partnerships I don't believe in. I don't do skincare brands that I haven't tried or have seen results from.
Hmm.
I have a very big integrity when it comes down to my personal brand. So when I'm navigating the space I am now at this stage of my career, I'm really just very intentional with what
Hmm.
I do. And
Hmm.
I try my best to have my personal voice in it. So if there is something that I'm creating a message for, or if there's some kind of something I'm having to say or relay, I really try my best to implement something that I would naturally say within these partnerships or in these
Hmm.
situations, because it's not just about the brand. It's me. I am the brand.
Hmm.
So I have to take further control of that. So I take so much integrity in what I do when it comes down to partnering and being around different brands and companies that want to work with me.
Hmm. And do you feel they've been open to that?
Oh, they absolutely. That's why they call.
Yeah.
And usually call me. It's like, yo, bro, what do you feel like would be good with this?
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful for the partnerships that I do get, that they trust me enough that I would carry it in a way that makes sense for their overall trajectory. I always try to be very intentional with that.
Awesome. That's good to know because we see, like you said, we're in this social media age. We see a lot of partnerships, collaborations, and influencers and all
Yeah.
that stuff. And a lot of times we're like, wait a minute, you're partnering with a vegan brand. Weren't you just posting McDonald's the other day? It's like,
Like taking a vegan break. I mean,
right,
at least say, hey, I'm going vegan for the week. I'm
right,
trying this
right,
brand. And, and that's also what I kind of teach in like my workshop. I teach you like how to kind of like make things authentic and organic to what you already do. So it's like you'll
yeah,
see me eat a burger and a hot dog every day. But if I was to partner with a vegan brand, I'd be like, hey guys, I'm doing this right now.
yeah,
Gonna try it for a week. Here's the brand I like. I like it. Blah blah blah. And then guess what? Might go back, might not, but we won't know until
right,
the next.
right. Just let us
But
know the shift is happening, regardless.
yeah, but also I get it. Like when it comes down to partnerships and stuff like that, people need the check, want the check, or whatever. And if the brand is good, the brand is good. But you can
Yeah,
always tell when it's authentic or not. So if I
right.
can't remotely express at least some part of authenticity in a brand partnership, then I'm just not going to take it.
Yeah, no, and that's your value system. That's where your values lie, and that's incredible. Where can people find Sell Your Look? How can they sign up?
Mm.
All that good stuff.
Cellularlook.com. You can follow at Cellularlook on Instagram. I'm also creating a Cellularlook TikTok as well. So that's going to be filled with industry gems and people that ask questions and stuff. Like there's going to be so much, I'm creating so much content that's going to be revolved around just giving information and know-how. So
Mhm.
I'm excited to build out that page. So cellularlook.com and at Cellularlook on IG is where you could find my workshop, and then you can find me on at Broderick Hunter.
Awesome. I'm excited to see what comes of it. I'm like fully supporting it. I love it. I think
Thank
it's
you.
needed and
Thank you.
necessary.
I appreciate your support, London. I really appreciate it. Like, thank you.
Of course. I'm excited also, like whatever's next for you. Where can we see you next? Do we have anything we can keep an eye on?
Yeah, man. Like, I'm still getting my flowers, so I have a wonderful project that's gonna be dropping soon. That's gonna be honoring me and a few other legends. So yeah, so
Awesome.
I look forward to whenever that releases, but that's one thing you can look out for, as well as other appearances in TV shows coming up. I'm still auditioning for more projects, and yeah, wherever God takes me, wherever God needs me, that's where you'll find me.
Awesome. Hey, I'll be looking, I'll be watching, like, where's he at? Come on, guy, where's he at?
He's kept me in the public for a pretty long time, so I don't think he has any intention on stopping anytime soon.
There you go. This was amazing, Broderick. I really appreciate your time and come
Thank
back
you.
anytime. I really enjoyed this chat we had.
I enjoyed this chat too, London, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to shed love on your channel. I know you already bring so much light and great conversations to others. So to have this conversation and to be on this platform with you is mutually appreciated. So thank you as well.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning into this episode of Let's Talk Life. I hope you follow and support Broderick and Sell Your Look and all the other endeavors and projects that are coming up for him. Make sure you follow, like, and subscribe to stay tuned to Let's Talk Life with London. Until next time.